But for now, what we are going to do is set up to do that, because in order, whatever color we use, in order to color the entire area with red wool or with whatever color wool, that is a lot of wool. That is a lot of wool. We've got about 16 blocks this way, so you figure 4 rows of this is 64 blocks, which is a full stack. So 1, 2, 3, 4 stacks, and then you figure this thing is maybe, it would take maybe 100 stacks or something, just roughly estimating that number. But it might indeed take that amount of wool. So what we are going to try to do is go ahead and not run into the wall, but we are going to try to head over to our, wool farm, and we are going to expand it, and we are also going to work on our wheat farm, because in order to get out of this hole that we're stuck in order to breed all of those sheep, basically, here's the idea. So we need to lay out the floor plan, and we need to breed the sheep with a lot of wheat and stuff. So let me just go ahead and start filling in the floor with dirt while we're talking. A program for an automatic tree farm, and that is a program that we are hopefully going to be getting to in the future as well, as soon as we set up the tree farm down here, which we will need to do fairly soon, because trees are something that we are very low on, and we keep having to take a lot of time to go across to the other side of the lake to go ahead and chop down some trees and stuff like that. If we could have an automatic tree farm, then that would be a lot quicker. I'm going to go ahead and try to expand this area, and then be back in a minute. You know what would make this so much easier? A turtle. Turtles make things so much easier. So what we're going to do with this turtle is we are going to set him up with a extremely simple program. What he is going to do is just simply to go along and place down a row of cobblestone. That will make it so much quicker. What do we call it? Place in a line. Okay, let's run place in a line. And he is going to simply go forward and place them in a line. That's perfect. He's doing exactly what we asked him to do. Oh, you know what? We could very simply tell this guy, instead of just going straight in a line, we could tell him, go straight in a line until you hit a block. And as soon as you hit a block, then go ahead and turn around into the next lane, and then go along until you hit a block again. That's basically what we could have him do. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and edit, place in a line, and let's tell it, okay, so this would be, okay, so how exactly do we want to do that? So basically we need him to go straight forward, and then we need him to keep checking for if he sees a block in front. So he goes forward, and then he goes, and if. So he places down, he goes forward, and then, wait, okay, we should have it done. What happens if he tries to go forward and there is a block in the way? Does he get stuck on the forward command? Because if he does, then there is a case like if we started him now, if we had an if here where it's checking for a block, but he tries to go forward first and keeps trying it because it's not working, then maybe he won't run the if statement at all. So we need to put the if statement before those things, and so let's go ahead and do it there. So if, and then end the if down here, and now we are going to say if, what was the command? Turtle, he's detecting in front of him. It is compare detect. Oh yes, that would be it. Detect, and I believe detect is just simply a matter of it checks for a block in front. I think that's what it does. If turtle.detect, if it detects something, then, and hopefully we did this right, then, there we go, if turtle.detect, Then we need him to, so if he detects a block in front, then he is going to go and, like, he will be, like, here. And so then he goes and turns left and goes forward. And then up, turns left again. Okay, so let's go ahead and climb back up. And then we shall be able to get back to finishing that turtle. Okay, let's go ahead and head over here. And we are not going to bother dealing with the case of what if we restart the world in between, because this is a turtle that will only run while we are here to run it. So then we need him to turn right. Turtle dot right. Nope, dot turn right. There we go. Turtle dot turn right. And then turtle dot go forward 1. And then turtle dot turn left. There we go. So now what will happen is he will first check if there's a block in front. And then he will go... Ooh! Actually, this is all we need. This is all we need. So I was thinking that he would be coming along this way, and then he would be like, oh, there's a block. So turns left and then turns left. And then goes along this way until he reaches the end here, at which point he goes and turns right and turns right again. But we don't even need to bother with that, because if he just turns left, he detects this block and then turns left, and then he will end up going back down the other way and stuff like that. It will be an interesting thing to see what happens. So let's go ahead and see what happens. He will keep on turning left. This is the turtle that turns left. That is basically what his job is turning left. And I'm just noticing a bit of lag. Is particles... Let's put particles on minimal. Does that get rid of the void effect particles? Because that would be very good if it did. But in any case, let's go ahead and I think we are good to go. So save the program, exit, restart the turtle, and he... Okay, so now directory, what was it called? Okay, place in a line. Let's go ahead and place in a line. There we go. So he is going the wrong way. He is going the wrong way. He is... He got stuck in a corner. Why did he get stuck in a corner? What is he doing in the corner? What are you doing, Sir Turtle? Let's go ahead and terminate the program. Okay, what happened here? Let's think through this. Okay, so he was... Oh, maybe it's the if turtle.detect thing. Let's go ahead and exit. What happens when he does turtle.detect? What is the result of it? Turtle.detect. There we go. And true. Okay, so that is right. So it simply detects if there is a block in front. Although perhaps it wasn't being used properly. That's possible. So let's go ahead and edit, place in a line, and let's go ahead and do a proper comparison. So if... Oh, maybe this needs to be on the same line as the if as well. Okay. If, and we need to do a thing where we compare turtle.detect to true. So turtle.detect is... Do you put the brackets around it or something? Not entirely sure. If turtle.detect is equal to true, then, and let's put the then on the same line as well. There we go. If turtle.detect is true, actually, I think we need to put these brackets around the outside of the entire thing. That might be possible. So like one there, and then one at the end of here. There's something, and maybe it's square brackets instead or something. Okay, let's try this. If turtle.detect is equal to true, then turn right, go forward, turn left, stuff like that. Wait, that's the problem. We told him to turn right. We told him to turn right. So he is here, then he turned right, and then you go down this way, and that is the problem. So we need him to turn left instead. Then go and turtle dot, where'd the mouse go? Oh, it's because it's in the save menu. Okay, there we go. Turtle dot turn left. There we go. Turtle dot turn left. Save, exit, and let's go ahead and set him back into the right place. So let's go ahead and go left 2. There we go. And now let's go forward 4. Go forward 4 and set him basically back to where he's supposed to be, and go left 3. And there we go. Now we shall try it again and see what happens. So let's go ahead and, what was it called? Place in a line. Okay, place in a line. There we go. Now he is cooperating. He is cooperating very nicely, and I'm just going to go ahead. I was trying with VSync on, but I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. Anyways, back to the point. We are going to go ahead and let the turtle go through. Let the turtle go through. The frame rate is actually doing fairly well. It might actually be the sheep farm that is slowing it down because there's a lot of mobs in the area. Actually, that is a good point. I wonder if we should put the sheep farther out of render distance or something. Because maybe we should put the sheep down at that side of the base instead. And aha, so he missed the one in the corner. And here's what's going to happen. He is going to keep going around in a line like that. He's going to keep going around in circles in the same place over and over again. That is what happens when you have him doing what we have him doing. So let's go ahead and terminate the program, and he does need to finish going to the end here, so go forward. Actually we need to set him back. We need to set him back to where he was supposed to be. Let's go ahead and break the turtle because he does have the thing, the thing in his he's named, so we will not lose the program. So edit, place in a line. Okay, so he does the turning left twice thing and then goes forward. Oh, just simply, all we need to do, first he turns left a bunch and then goes forward and down, or placing and stuff like that, and turns left and stuff like that. We do need, as you saw, he did miss. Okay, so one thing at a time. First of all, we need to fix the fact that he missed this block right here. He missed this one, and that was because he got here and he's like, oh, I need to turn. So he turned and then immediately went forward. So what we need him to do is, after he turns and before he goes forward, we need to have him place down a block. So after he turns left the first time, then turtle dot place down. There we go, and that is that. Whoops. And let's go ahead and save, and whoop, making a bunch of new lines there that are not supposed to be there. Okay, so now he does this first section in the if, which is basically, let's go ahead and add a comment on this thing so that we can tell what's going on better. This should work now. So basically what's happening here is turtle goes and first turns left. So by the way, these two dashes there is basically meaning that is basically meaning, sorry, getting tongue-tied again, basically meaning that it is a comment. So this turn left thing here doesn't actually do anything. It just is so that we can tell what's happening better for like personal notes. So turn left, so this is all the stuff it does for turning left, which we talked about earlier, and then go forward, it does its thing. So it is here, it will turn left, and then go forward until it hits a block, and then it will go ahead and turn right, because after it has just turned left, it needs to turn right, obviously, so it will turn right and go this way, and so come back along the line this way, and then it will go ahead and loop back up to the start. Wait, no. Oh, yes, it is. Okay, so it turns, so, okay, forget that. So it turns left, goes along that way, and then turns right, and then it's done the program. It loops back up to the start, and I think that should work, because by that point, it will run the turn left thing first, but there is nothing in front of it, so it shouldn't turn left right after going that to that side and then turning right. So it should just skip through the turn left part and do the going forward and placing and stuff like that. That should work in theory. So let's go ahead and see if it will indeed work in theory. So let's see. Save. Oh, and one more thing is, if it runs out of blocks, we don't want it to just keep going along and keep going back and forth, and then we can't catch up to it. So we just need it simply to inside the main loop. See, this is a very simple program. It is a very simple program. Inside the main loop here, we need it to have an if statement where it says if, and what, how do you call, oh, get item count, I think, turtle dot, and I think we need a open bracket around that, turtle dot get item count, get item count is greater than 0. If turtle.get item count is greater than 0, so if the items in this slot here, if there are greater than 0 items, then run all of this stuff in the middle of here, and when it gets to the end. Otherwise, else, if there are 0 items, then just wait for, not wait, it's os.sleep is what it is. os.sleep, and let's say 100 seconds. It doesn't really matter, because at that point we'll come over and check it. So, otherwise do that, and end the loop right there. There we go. That is, some typing has been accomplished. That is good. Okay. Now, without too many more typing errors, hopefully this will work. So let's go ahead and restart this guy, and let's go ahead and tell him to run the place in a line. On line 4, there's a then expected. What is missing? Oh yeah, if that and then. There we go. It is actually on line 2, but that is okay. So let's go ahead and restart this again, and then place in a line. And now the turtle is going along, and it will keep going along until it runs out of blocks. That will be very helpful indeed. He is going along, he is on his way across, and he is going to keep placing those blocks until he runs out of blocks in his inventory, which may not take too long, because it will probably be just the entire length of this one row here will be when he runs out of blocks. So we need a simple program, a simple thing inside this program to have him be able to grab blocks from different slots. That will be helpful. So he places down, he places down, he keeps going. That's excellent. He's down to 15 blocks left. Okay. We don't have many more blocks ourselves, so while he is doing that, I'm going to go ahead and grab some more blocks at the main base, and hopefully he stops properly, because that is part of the program. We shall see if it works or not. But I'm going to go ahead and head up here, get some blocks, and be back with him in a minute. He appears to be stopped down there, so that is that for now. Here is probably how we want to do this. So we probably want to go ahead and place in a bunch of cobblestone into this turtle, first of all, and then what he is going to do is he is going to... everywhere in here where it says place down, we need to replace that with a reference to a function, which is up here. That will keep the code a lot cleaner, so we can go ahead and basically a function is something that can be called whenever you would like it to be called. So function and end the function down there. We'll call the function, what shall we name the function? We shall name the function. We shall name it place many slots. Place many slots. It would be helpful to type it properly. Place many let's just call it place stuff. There we go. That is simpler. Okay. So, function place stuff. So basically what is happening is down here in the later part of the program, every time the turtle is going to place down, instead we will tell it to run the function place stuff. And stuff. There we go. Place stuff. Now, what we are going to have it do in this place stuff function is, of course, he is going to do the turtle.placeDown thing. But in order to do what we are trying to do, what we need to do is have it cycle through every slot to see if it has any block in it to be placed down. So how exactly are we going to do this? We are going to have it probably start by selecting the first slot and then try to... oh, actually, select the first slot, check if it has an item in it, and if it doesn't have an item, then don't place. If it does have an item, then place. And then move on from there. Something like that, anyway. Two things that we need to have it do. We need to have it, first of all, do the selecting through the slots, and then we also need to have it count the number of items, because like what we have here, if the item count is greater than 0, then it knows it can proceed. We need to know the total items that it has to see if it has any items at all. So, That is the plan. So we shall first go over here and work on the actual placing side of things. So we need it to... first of all, let's do a... okay. Aha! 2 functions. That should work very well. So this one here, place stuff, basically what it does is the for loop will set this variable I to, if you can see the cursor there where I'm doing the things and stuff like that, that's basically the pointing device here. Anyways, so for I, it will set the variable I to 1 and then do the loop and repeat it again, increasing to 2 and then increasing to 3 and then 4 all the way up to 16 is the limit that we set, which fits down here very nicely. 1, 2, 3, 4, 16. So repeat 16 times and select that slot number. So it will select slot 1. Then it will place down. So select slot 1, try to place down. Select slot 2, try to place down. It is a bit wasteful because it basically just goes through every single slot and tries to place it down. And so it will take some extra time that it doesn't need to take, but that is okay. And so basically, that is what is going to happen with placing stuff. Now, we also need another function to count the total items, because what if we have, let's say, this slot here selected, and we are going to count the items, and it says, oh, there's 0 items in there, so it's like, okay, I guess we'll have to stop, but there's like 5 stacks over here. That is a situation that could happen. So we need it to count the total number of items, and if there are any items in the inventory, then keep moving and keep placing. That's basically what we need. Basically, what we need it to do. So let's go ahead and create another function, and all that this function needs to do, function is it needs to count total items and end the function. And all it needs to do there is we need to have it select, do a for loop. So first it needs a variable, of course. It needs a variable. We will say total number of items. Total number of items, that is a variable, and we will set it equal to 0 to start with. It shall assume that it has no items in the inventory, and then it will add every item that it finds to the count. So basically, it needs to cycle through the slots again. So for I is equal to 1 to 16. So repeat I for as many times as it needs until it gets to 16, and then end the loop. And then we need to have it select, select, or was it turtle.select? It was turtle.select, wasn't it? Turtle.select, and he's going to select slot I. There we go. He's going to cycle through all 16 slots, and so select it, and then if it finds any items in there, it will, so the variable is, will take total number of items, total number of items, that's that variable there, and total number of items, which is 0 because we just set it to 0, and then it is going to take that total number of items is equal to what it was before, total number of items, and oh wait, without the s, total number of items and plus whatever it finds in the slot. So he's going to do turtle dot not select, turtle dot, what was the thing? Oh, get item count. There we go, item count. And we need to know that this is working properly, because I'm not sure at all if I did this properly. So let's go ahead and print to the screen so that we can see it. Print total number of items, and that should have an S on it really, but we programmed it without an S, so we'll have to do like that. So we got this first function where it counts the items, and it's not really first, it's just sort of functions, they run whenever you call them, so we just sort of wrote them in there like that. So count the number of items, place the stuff down, and now in our while true thing, this is our code here. In our while true loop thing, we need to, anytime where it says to place down, we need to replace with that new function. And anytime this first time where it says if turtle.getItemCount is greater than 0, we need to instead say if, and what was it? What was their function called? It was called count total items. So if this function, oh, actually, no. We need to, okay, so we need to compare the variable, but we need to start with, so we need to first run the function. So inside down here, inside this true loop, this is our code. Inside of this, hopefully this is making sense, but we need to first run the function count, the one that we just programmed, count total items. And it's going to run that, and that is going to create this variable, total number of items, total num item. And now if this variable that it has just created, if total num item is greater, not that button, this button, there we go, is greater than 0. Then do all of this code. That is now that thing done. Now I just need to go through here, and everywhere it says to place down, I need to replace with place stuff. And I'll be back in a minute. Alright, that should be that good to go. We shall see if it does indeed work as it is supposed to. Let's go ahead and check this out. Place in a line, and it is going to... Okay, so it first went through and scanned the entire thing for... Oh, wow. Okay, so whatever we did to it is slowing it down a lot. You can see it's there. It moves, and then waits, and then places, and then moves, and then waits, and then places, and waits, and then moves, and okay, so it is doing a lot. What is it doing? It is, okay, so it scans the entire thing to calculate it, and then it scans the entire thing to calculate it, and that doesn't appear to take too long, but the biggest thing is it's going through it again to actually place the blocks. So yeah, so it keeps scanning every slot before placing a block, so it is moving really slowly. And I'm gonna go sleep through the night, I think, and then be back when it's... Actually, is it even nighttime? It might not be. Anyways, so we need to somehow tell it to stop scanning through every slot every time. So yeah, so that could be a problem. So let's see what to do about that. Terminate program.